Yo, we in the Omni way. We are getting it cracking. I'm working on new angles every time. So we out here. So I'm gonna tap in. We got the CE Creative Matriarch. We're gonna go into an Omni joint. I'm gonna be throwing up filters. I'm gonna be getting it in. You know, we are out here. Let me just invite Liz on this. But yeah, if y'all haven't seen what we got going on, we are gonna be doing a lot of different things, including just taking it there further, and we getting it in. So take a little moment to breathe, take a little moment to see if anybody comes up in here. Peace to Canada. We got the Canadian snow coming down. My cuz, what's up? We're about to drop some heavy science, break the appliance, fighting the tyrants, beyond the violence. You know how we do, breaking the matrix in the virus. You know how they say it's on papyrus. I gotta say that we write it. I gotta fire it and light it, and I ignite it. I'm gonna start with the music till I get it down to do this. I keep it therapeutic. I bounce with an ounce. They say it's in a house. Let me know if the levels is right. We're gonna get it all tight, tight, tight. We got the requests. You know we the best. What up, my cuz? Yo, I gotta come to Canada while it's still warm. Send me a plane ticket out there. My cuz Jay, tattoo artist. Shout out to Inconspiracy. We got it snowing out here in 90-degree weather. Big Lizzo, what's good?
My level.
What's up? What's up?
Oh, you can't hear me?
No, you sound fine. I hear you fine. What's up? Yeah, so we're gonna just start this convo organically, and I got my little background music. I'm gonna be switching up filters left and right, but we wanted to really get it in on here. But yeah, Liz, feel free to introduce yourself. Shout out to Sloan. Shout out to my guitar brother, Mr. Margolis.
I am the matriarch here for Creative Expression. I'm also the founder of Honey, aka House of Nova Insights, where I share crochet and numerology insights on that page. So if you want to go check it out, I'll put it in the caption, or not the caption, the comment section. But yeah.
Whoa, look at that filter. Yeah, so wherever you want to get it started, Liz, I'm ready.
Yeah, I think we should definitely start off with the network and build relaunch, since it was something that we've been promoting so far.
Yeah, so I got two of me to introduce it. So the network and build, y'all, is some next level shit. I did the network and build starting in the pandemic. For those of you who don't know what the pandemic is, it was a time that was planned for everybody to meet themselves, just like how I'm meeting myself right here. And during that time, everybody was getting into the virtual. So every 2 weeks for about a year, I did not miss a session, and we just held space on Zoom for organic conversations. And that's where the network and build was founded. And it led to some amazing ideas. It led to these things called Artivist Talk. It led me to working on a podcast. It led me to doing some amazing things. And what it has evolved into after taking a pause, because a lot of us are too much on the phones, too much on the internet, too much on the Zoom world. We said, what is the best way that we can network and build? And, a lot of us just love going to the parks. We love going to spaces. They're free. They're accessible. They are everywhere. A lot of parks are not visited and underutilized. There are parks that can be revamped, parks in every neighborhood, and parks are a requirement. And it is an easy way to tap into nature, especially as urban people. So with the Network and Build series, we kept it real simple. You can hit the link in Linktree that says the joint. We created a partyful form, or you could shoot a DM and we will send you a Google Sheet. All you have to do if you want to host one of these is throw the park you want to go to, the date you want to go to, and the time. We are just making it very open and simple. If you want to bring a amp, if you want to bring your friend, if you want to bring a blanket, if you want to bring some Uno cards, if you want to bring an instrument, you can do whatever you want. Just bring it on down, hold it down. The first one is the 5th, right here in Astoria Park, and we're going to be getting it in over there at 3:30 p.m. It'll go on organically to when it goes, but we plan to be there at least till 7-ish or so. And all ages are welcome. Everyone can be there. You can invite somebody. We are using the technology such as Partyful to make sure that people can do what they need to do and invite other people, and they get advance notice. I just started going to these parks like crazy, and I would just throw a post up online. Thank you for the fire, whoever's in there. I would just throw up something out, and then I would just say, yo, pull up on a park on me, let's work out. Pull up on a park on me, let's do something, let's cook. Pull up on a park and do some pull-ups. You know, pull up on a park and bring your instrument. And I realized you don't need a venue. The earth is a venue, you know what I mean? We're here, and we want to make the most out of it. So all summer long, it's going to go by like a blink. You can hit us up, shout out, you know, everybody who's involved, and let us know if you got a park around your block. You can host it too, and we will promote it. We'll make it accessible to everybody, and we just want to get as many people as possible enjoying each other's company in the analog, and then networking and building from that. Yes, a jam could happen. Yes, art could happen, but the gathering of human beings is one of the most essential things, and we want to push that and promote that and do this in outdoor spaces. You know, you get that vitamin D and get that energy. You get that sun, you get that air, you listen to that birds, and magic can happen just like that.
Yeah. And this is a perfect segue too, because we at Creative Expressions have been really trying to help people understand and navigate moving beyond the capitalistic mindset. And this is what I feel like the start for people to actually start implementing it instead of just putting it in thought energy, you know, because people will say, oh, we got to stop funding these places, but they don't do anything. And now we're providing a structure for everybody to actually partake in that. So I think it's really cool. What can you say more in regards to that, in regards to moving beyond the capitalistic mindset as an artist?
Yeah, we're all conditioned. You know, I love that I got my higher self right next to me right here. You know what I mean? So there's versions of us, right? And there's versions of us that have been conditioned. There's versions of us that have been conditioned since schools, conditioned since our parents, conditioned since societal norms, and those conditionings are deeply, deeply, deeply rooted from the beginning of our lives, right? And a lot of times they kill our imagination. And what up to my man Romello in here? They kill our thought process. They kill our ability to create. If you look at children, children will take a towel, put it around their neck, and say, "Yo, I'm a superhero," and they'll start jumping around. And we all have that ability to use our imaginations to create. But a lot of us are like, yo, we out here shucking for views. We out here looking for a playlist to help us get there. And that is such a low vibrational thing. Money is just a very low frequency, if you will. You know, it's like a bass, right? And those bass waves are big, low waves. And those things create lower vibrational energy, which is our lower chakras, which if you see the colors, it's red. It's very red. And what do they say when you see red? You see anger, survival, blood, right? This is really, really something that I have learned, that if you're just thinking about money all day, it's just the base. If you're just thinking about sex all day, it's the base. And these are the fundamental rules of being in survival mode. People have heard it before. Survival mode is in that state where you don't think your needs are going to get met. Well, when you thrive, you have to go up: red, orange, yellow, root chakra, the orange, you know, which is, I believe, the sacral, the yellow, which is the solar plexus, the green, which is a heart space. It's only till you reach your heart, which is number 4, that you start to get to a space where you transcend the heart. And then what's after your heart? Your throat chakra. Then after the throat, you got these other chakras that are higher, you know, behind your hypothalamus and all this area. The emotional centers of the brain are then there. The amygdala is there. And then you have your third eye, or your pineal gland. And then you have your crown, which is at the top. So in aligning yourself with all these energies and all these things is how you can literally go into your higher self, right? And that is accessible. That takes no money. That takes no external thing. That is an internal process. So when we are talking about a capitalist approach, or if I'm getting this, you know, how many times we've been through something and said, I don't know how we're going to do such and such, and we make it, right? Don't have that fear frequency. If you're stuck in the bottom 3, the red, orange, yellow, you stuck in just like, how do I survive? How do I make it? But if you get beyond it with love, literally to the heart space, you can then say, I am ready to allow what is going to happen. And you can bring something, once again, the higher self, merge it with yourself, and then you create a version of you that this version of you, the higher version, will take care of you. And you see all the colors being activated are right there, are right there. And once everything starts flowing, it's also known as Kundalini, or boom, literally a spiral. And that spiral activation literally travels up your nervous system, puts you in a calm state, and allows things to happen. And that brings forth what's there, because we're always abundant. It's just, what are we abundant in? Are we abundant in fear? Are we abundant in this? But once you bring that love in, you're unstoppable. Once you start vibrating, you have the ability to bring your frequency up to wherever you need to bring it up to. So bring your frequency up by getting past the idea of you just need to survive and get by. A lot of people, they making music, oh man, I got to make what's hot. I got to do this and this. They're not coming from past that heart space, you know? And then once you tap into the higher things, you are going into thriving, and you are going into a higher vibration that will take care of all your survival needs. So if you could go on, metaphorically speaking, past that fourth floor, you're going to be able to go and have all your needs met, because you're going to be thriving, not just surviving. So that's how the capitalist constructs, they literally compress you and push you down into just thinking about, oh man, if I don't do this, I'm gonna go broke, I'm gonna end up on the streets, I'm gonna do this. But if you notice, every situation you went through, you have been able to overcome, or else you would not be here at this moment. So that's what I got on that.
It's a beautiful segue. Understanding the people, that the power is within us and not in these big corporations or within the matrix. You know, especially since like a lot of folks, they get stuck in those lower chakras, and they're in their fight or flight survival mode. Their imagination gets stunted, and within our imagination is where we bring our creativity to find the answers. So can you dive deeper in regards to that, like reminding people that the power is within themselves?
That's a good one. I'm gonna take a sip of the Omni tea out here, right? Back to that capitalism question and connecting it. Those things train you to look outside of yourself. School, oh, go get this job, go get this education, go get this thing. And once you get this external thing, it will then get you some other external thing. It'll get you money. Then you get this other external thing, a house, a apartment, a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever someone's into. And then it keeps leading you like the gerbil on a wheel, on a permanent chase for external things. Whereas if you look inside yourself, you're never going to be without anything. You will notice that everything that is created comes from within you. Every invention, and this is all known, right? Any device, these phones that we're onto, if you looked at it 20, 30 years ago, people wouldn't think the device that would be a computer would be a phone or this. This came from within somebody, someone's imagination. And as we started imagining more, the world started changing. So everything is created with thought and created with imagination first, that is brought into reality. So by nature, if you're just looking at things that are outside of you, you will continue to look outside of yourself. And that's the easiest way to be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
To think that these external things are going to make me complete. You are complete. You are already there. But you got to merge with that part of yourself to allow yourself to know that you're always omnipresent. You are always where you're meant to be. You always have the ability to do anything you can vision, and you can look within yourself. Even nowadays with more technology and telling people, watch podcasts, look at that. Once again, if you want to tell, there's an easy way to tell. Anything that is based in source energy and truth will lead you to yourself. It will bring you to a mirror and allow you to have a deeper relationship with yourself. If something is false, it'll tell you, go buy this course. Go outside of yourself. Oh, when you move and things will be better. When some foreign point that is not here is there, then it will be okay. And what'll happen, you'll get there and be like, oh, now I need I got $1 million, now I need 10 million. I got 10 million, now I need 100 million. I got 100 million, now I need a billion. It is the endless cycle of desires, and it is the endless cycle of want. And as the great Tao says, desires wither the heart, you know? And it's those things that drain people because you're on an endless chase for the next person, the next thing. And what you'll see is all those things that you want and are bringing you sadness and the temporary pleasures and happiness, both are on the same side, is outside of you. So if something is leading you to go outside of yourself, that's an easy way to say that it's not of source. It is something that is external. So that's what I am. Yeah, let's go on the other side. Boom. All these notes right here, they can be made from within you, right? All of those things are found within you. So yeah, you know, go within. And you see, just like the sun is moving down in the background, you're able to see something within yourself. And then we are a replication of the omniverse. We are a replication of the divine. We are that. So that would by nature mean that everything that is found within space and the external world is found within you. The same elements that make up the trees, the birds, and the bees are what make us up literally on an elemental level. The earth is 70-something% water, so is our bodies. So if this isn't proof that you know, I don't know what else is. So keep on looking in, which is why it's important also to take yourself away from some of these things, which is why, once again, we're doing the park get-ups, we're doing the networking bills. We are requiring ourselves to go back into the spaces, especially as urban inner city folks here in New York. So we out here.
Important to tap back into nature. I actually wanted to dive a little deeper into looking within, right? Because people may not necessarily know what that looks like, what that feels like. And I love the way Bashar, the channeler that you put me on to, I love how he explains that looking within is following your highest excitement, the best of your abilities for as long as you can possibly do it, you know? Um, but I wanted you to tap more into that to explain further for people who've never seen Bashar's information and just to get the Omni download that you get from Source in regards to that.
Yeah, so this is why I say yes, looking at content is a great start. But the second you get an inspiration and the second you get inspired, right? I'm going to use something even really simple, right? The second you see that workout video, shut the freaking phone off and go and start doing push-ups. The second that you feel that vibration, go and do it.
Yeah.
Go and do it and bring yourself to a state of action. And what is meant to bring yourself to the highest vibration possible is, what is the thing that brings you, you know, that's what he says, the highest form of excitement. So if you're excited by watching a video about the guitar or something, touch it. Go right into it. Go to the highest level that you can, because that is always going to be accessible to you. You can take an action. Even if it's like, yo, I'm going to go take a shit right now and laugh my ass off. Go and do that. Go and journal. But you have to put it into an action-based state. It's not about thinking, because there's people who I know, they're like, oh, I want to sing, I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. And they just think about it, and then they think, oh, I'm not good. Meanwhile, they could have just been doing whatever they could have been doing, and they would have been greater at what they did. What stops people from it is the thought or fear. The thought is that they're going to be judged. The thought is that they're not good enough. The thought is that what they have, they don't have enough. It's lack. And I like how Bashar even says, it's an abundance of lack. So you still got plenty. You got plenty of fear. You got plenty of time to watch shit on the internet. You got plenty of time to do this. But who's going to actually do something about it? Who's going to actually, like, make yourself felt? And, yo, you can make content. You can do all that shit. But people going to see if it slaps or if it doesn't. That's what I like to say. So if you're not feeling in a vibrational state, don't lie to yourself. Stop. And that's another thing. People go and go and go and go and go and go and go without stopping. They do not stop and reflect on it. Yo, I sit still. I sit under the tree. I get uncomfortable feelings, and I face those uncomfortable feelings. And then I get to a state like, Yo, I know what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go exercise. I know what I'm gonna do. Yo, I'm gonna turn off the phone and take a bath for an hour. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. If you don't really know what you're going to do, you have to go into yourself. And remember, even when nothing is done, nothing is undone. That's another Tao quote that I love. That you could get it in there. You can get it in there any single minute. Sideways, it's always infinite. You done did it. I done said it. And yeah, that's it. Just do it. Literally do it. And once you do it, you will become it. Once again, the same thing. It will merge with you. Your higher self will merge with you. And you will feel excited. That's how you can tell. That's how you can tell if you're bullshitting yourself. I used to bullshit myself, turn on the beats and be like, yo, I gotta make 10 beats a day. And I was afraid. I was afraid. I was afraid that no one saw me. I was afraid my music wasn't good. I was afraid. So what did I do? By doing that, I brought more fear. I used to work out and hurt myself. Why? Because I was afraid to stay still. I was afraid to face the thoughts. So it's not about what you're doing. It's about the thought of what you're doing, the emotional response, and the energetic vibration. How are those three things dancing together and working in a state of harmony, just like a chord? When you take these notes, you can put them together to make a chord, and then you take the chords together and you make a progression. And literally progression, you progress. So it's all found within music, it's all found within art, it's all found within everything. Everything is source. There's nothing that is absent of source. So it doesn't really matter about what you do, but it's your why. It's your intent behind what you're doing, and how. How are you feeling? How are you vibrating at that possible state?
How do you, okay, I think you've already covered it in regards to knowing like the difference between excitement and anxiety, because I feel like people tend to confuse those two a lot, right? Because that's why they keep going and going. They feel the adrenaline rush of like escaping from their problems, and they tend to try to escape through other means, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and knowing the difference is very important, because if you follow the latter, if you continue to work doing things in that fear-based or anxiety-based, all you're going to do is continue to attract more scenarios that reflect the energy that you're putting out, because the world reflects what we are, right? The world is a mirror. The experience is very real, but everything that is outside of ourselves is a projection of our internal world, right? And when you say that, you know, you have to look within, you have to tap into that energy and realize, okay, you could see this content and be motivated by, oh my, me out.
There you go. We out here.
I love my face. But yeah, when you find that content, it's so important to tap into that energy and move, and also sustain the high vibration, because sometimes, like how you said, we will get stuck in our emotions and we will sit in it for so long and just like identify those emotions as being us, right? We feel it to be very real. Emotions are valid, right? Every form of emotion is valid, but they're not necessarily real. We are the ones that put the meaning behind these emotions. I can't take you serious.
Well, that's the whole point. So just, we're going to hit it right there. We see, and that's why I'm playing with the filters. This is why I'm doing it. I'm being authentic. I'm doing whatever I could. I'm going to mess around with every filter in it. Hey, yo. So anxiety, you dropped a huge nugget. It was saying that anxiety, what's the difference between anxiety and excitement? That's a huge gem just in asking. Feel it. If you feel anxiety, you will feel anxiety in the pit of your stomach. You will feel uneasy. You will feel a level of almost queasiness, nauseousness, nervous energy, right? And then you'll feel a blockage, because anxiety says, I can't stay still. I feel I need to do something right now. I need to work out. I need to make a music. And what I say is, listen to your internal dialogue. Listen to your voice. Listen to what your voice has to say. And is it like, I gotta go make a beat right now. I need to go play guitar. I need to play guitar right now because I'm not feeling good right now. I have to go make a beat. I have to do a show. Blah, 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 blah. I'm using hyperbole to exaggerate it. I'm exaggerating this whole shit because anxiety tries to rush you and will say, you better do it now. If you don't practice the guitar, you trash. Da 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 da. It down talks you. It's fear-based. Anxiety is on a fear-based emotional spectrum. You could look up, shout out to I think something Hawkins, the map of consciousness, right? Whereas excitement is high on there. It's joyous. It's like, yo, I really want to pick up this guitar right now. I really want to mess around with these filters right now, right?
Yeah.
It talks to you in a more nurturing, soft way. So listen to the tone of your internal voice. Listen to it, and is it yelling at you? Is it screaming at you? Yo, I better get up and do this. Yo, I gotta go do this. I gotta go do. Because it doesn't matter really what you're doing. It's the energy you got behind it. So you know, it's really real. So
Yeah.
you
So
know,
you're basically saying that anxiety sounds like your internal bully. Like, you gotta do this because you're gonna suck if you don't do this. Versus excitement is more like, yo, like, we should really do this and not have an
yeah,
expectation of what
it's
is gonna happen.
nurturing, yeah, versus critical of yourself, because that's the thing, because people think the activity is what it is, but it's I say it back again, it's the why. It's why are you doing it that is determining your energy. Because if you are doing something good, like I mentioned, air quote good, working out, making music, right? We look at these things as positive things. And in these positive things, we also can understand someone can work out and have an injury. Someone can make a million albums and nothing can happen. Why is that? It's because the energetic space they're coming from is not leading to manifestation. It's leading to a contracting energy. So it's going to take energy away from you to do that. So a lot of people just think, oh, I just got to work out every day. And yes, there is times where you have to push yourself to go beyond your comfort zone. I want to acknowledge that fully. And yeah, but there's also times where it's not the truth. So listen to that. Listen to that. And listen to your vibration and listen to yourself, because if you can identify it and pay more attention to it, you'll notice, is it coming from a fear-based place or is it coming from a love-based frequency? Love is uplifting, will lead you to self. Anxiety will also lead you back to what we said earlier, outside of yourself. So it's going to hit you outside. It's going to tell you, you better go and get this so you can get a platinum record or you can get that. Whereas love leads you to just enjoying the process, then out of the result and doing it from a labor of love, you will get something better. It's just like food, right? When somebody's cooking with a bad vibration or energy, you can taste it in the food, even if they use the exact same ingredients. How is this possible? There is
Yeah.
an energetic vibration
Yeah.
that is determining the quality of what is happening to you. So it's right there, but you have to be aware, which is also why stillness is important. You have to be aware of what you're doing and what you're feeling in order to feel.
Yeah. It's about something that we've discussed the other day, and thank you so much for helping me navigate that, because sometimes we're blinded to see that moments where we allow this fear, the anxiety, the internal bully to make us feel like there's a certain end result that will happen, and it removes us from the present moment to enjoy and experience the moment, right? And what people don't realize is that sometimes when we are not present, we end up not just hurting ourselves, but hurting those around us, because then we neglect their needs. We neglect
Back.
or make them feel unreciprocated or unappreciated.
Yeah,
And yeah, like, nobody want to do that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and we become unaware, right? You've had conversations with me that were real. You're like, yo, why? I don't feel like you're being present right now, right? And I had to be like, and I chose not to be defensive and be like, nah, you know what? I got to do that. And that's what real people will do in your life. They will call you out on it. So stay around people that won't call you out. Yo, I don't feel like you're being present right now. I don't like that the way this energy exchange is going down. and we can adjust. I love how you taught me, like, let's look at the issue, and then it's not me versus you, it's us working together to solve the issue or to overcome this mountain, and both people gain from that.
Mm-hmm.
Not
We gotta
that, you know,
each other's.
energetic dump on somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's another thing. We're always quick to point the finger at somebody else, and we don't see how we are showing up in those moments that we don't even like ourselves. We don't realize that we're projecting a certain kind of mindset into the experience. And again, that comes from not being present, you know? So I feel like it's very important. We're not each other's enemies. We're just blind to see ourselves, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Um,
yo, that's fire.
that was a point. But do you want to tap into now in regards to like CE and how like people can show up? Because we were talking about reciprocation and being present and
Yeah.
stuff like that. The things that we're doing in CE, like we give so much to the community, and we love doing it, right? But then there is the aspect of we need people to help them, right? And I just want you to touch base in regards to how would that look like?
Yeah, yo, we have been building what I call flying machines infrastructures. And I want everybody like, yo, steal this shit. Take it. Take it. I've had so many people take methods from creative expressions, and that's the point, is to be passed. Group chats, right? Instagram is wild. It's hard to get views. You, on average, are, you know, I always say, you're dealing with 20%. I have about 2,000 followers and change. So the 200 most active engagers are who is going to see what I do on the most level. Now, what that means is it's probably going to be people like you who really know me, who really support me, which means that I am not going to be able to access literally 80% of the following that I have. And the people who engage with me are most likely people who engage with me anyway, meaning I would have their number, I got access to them on WhatsApp, Telegram, or somewhere else. But the people that I don't have access to, which are millions and millions of people that are using this platform, you have to create a way to get that. And what I've been doing, and I'm giving out the nuggets for free over here, y'all. Once again, first thing is using a group chat, because if you can let people know this is what it is, we're at about 100 folks in there. Hit us up to be part of the Decipher chat. And we are sharing the information there, even to tell people like, yo, we're going live, we're doing this. You know, we didn't do it now, but it's all good. The second thing that I noticed is, how can you create analog gatherings? This is a digital era, but this is why the Network and Build has been relaunched as an analog series for this summer. And we are allowing everybody to hold space for whatever way they can. And as they hold space and they learn how to hold space for each other, we have to model it by example. Like trust. Sometimes I got no patience for a lot of shit. But yet I do it and I'm like, yo, great. Will we get one person to throw a park event at the local park? And y'all can hit us up. Hit the link tree. Come through. Look, there's 3 levels that I usually say. The passive observer. They're going to just observe what you do. They're not going to comment. They're going to look for a second, and then they're going to just be out. They're not going to interact. No heart emoji, no nothing. You know what I mean? That's all it is. You know, Liz is throwing it right up in there. We'll see if anybody comes and checks it out, right? But you got to move past that. Level 2, the person who engages somewhat. They will check in. They will come through. They will throw the heart emoji. They will comment on something. They will share something. That's great. Then there's a third tier. And then that's going to be the people who are like, wow, I'm going to be active. I can tell people, come over and cook dinner instead of going out and spending money. The same money that you were going to go to the restaurant with, you could probably buy groceries for multiple meals. You know? People go out to restaurants, spend hundreds of dollars. You can create a higher vibrational setting just within that. You can go to your local park. So everything that we're doing, creative expressions, is like, yo, give it away. Give it to them. We don't require any money for any of these things. We have a newsletter. Every time we send out a fucking newsletter, we get an unsubscribe. That's what it is. Why? We're just giving free. But you got to get past that. You have to mentally have the fortitude to be like, okay, people walked in and out of this live, digitally speaking. We're still like, yo, we're going to take this content, put this joint in the AI and the Opus clip, cut this joint up. We got whole season of Artivist Talks. Now we got to make those into smaller clips because people aren't watching long form contents because they're ADD'd out or whatever it is. PTSD, ADD, ABCD, EFG, whatever it is. So we're not here trying to say that this ain't this. We still like, yo, let's just do it anyway. That's what I told you. I was like, yo, Liz, we have so many ill combos. We got to just start having these combos instead of one-on-one where we had on Telegram and on Zoom. I was like, nah, man, fuck the gram. But then I had to be like, yo, we going to still fuck you to the gram, still fuck you to Meta. But we going to utilize this to create something that is dialogue. I went live earlier today and there was no way they could come out like this because I'm not exchanging the energetic vibration with something. The power of one. Find one other person. Find one deep conversation. Make one choice. Do one push-up, one pull-up. Buy one thing from the store and cook instead of going to takeout. One. Take 1 minute to breathe. Do a 1 minute plank. And you'd realize if you add up all those little things that are not really promoted, everything's buy my online course. And I was there. I was selling online courses. And then I was making content. Yo, check out my songs and videos. I was there. I want people to know, yo, I was there. I'm not above anybody. I'm not better or worse. But I was there and it leads to nothing. But what does lead to something is the power of you taking an action and turning a thought into action. And then once that action is felt and the vibration is there, it manifests something. And yo, if all you got is one other person, get that one. And if all you got is yourself, then yo, say who's down, who's down, who's down. That's what I did. I started going to the park. Yo, who wants to go to the park? No one came. I was dolo. Then I was like, okay, everyone had advice from me. Oh, you should do this. So then eventually, what did I do? I said, okay, we'll give advance notice. Okay, we'll make a Google Sheet. And we did that yesterday. We instantly put it out. We instantly went in there. You instantly put together the flyer. We instantly came up with a series for the entire summer. So thought, action, emotion. We have our Decipher chat. If you're seeing this, hit us up. Shoot a message that says Decipher to me, Liz, or the Creative Expression page. We got that. They have the newsletters, so it's there. And we're releasing that. It's all good. Get in there. And then, you know, take this shit. Take this shit, we'll do a copy it and make your own version of it. And everything I mentioned costs absolutely nothing. MailChimp is what we use for the newsletter. The Instagram is what we use. I wanted to use Discord because I don't like Instagram. Nobody joined the Discord I made. So what did I do? I went back to where the people is at, and then I started using the Meta Suite app so that I could write back to DMs and comments without opening the Instagram. The two things I can't do on the Meta Suite app, I cannot put a story with a link on it on Instagram. I have to go to Instagram to do that. And I cannot see the group chat, and I cannot do a live. Those are three things I cannot do from the Meta thing, but it allows me to stay off of it because I am a creator of content. I'm a creator of energy. I'm a creator and reformatter of it, so I don't need to be looking at it. And another thing I want to say, big upload is, yo, all that positive content that we're watching, all that stuff, you are still, and I wrote this earlier, look at my stories if y'all want to get into it. I recommend y'all check out Andrew Huberman and Dr. Gabor Mate. These are cats, they master neuroscience, and they will tell you, sharing that content that you think is, you know, benefiting people by saying there's a war going on out there, watching those exercise videos. I watch the healthy cooking stuff. If you keep consuming those shorts, those reels, and those stories, you are rewiring your brain and your dopamine receptors to get a quick boost, which is literally bad dope. The same thing that happens in a drug addict's mind is happening in your mind and our minds within this. We are having a long-form conversation right now. This is not us scrolling, doom scrolling as they call it, and doing any of this shit. This is not that. And yet we still got to cut this up and feed the people, you know? And I say this to say, once you keep consuming even positive content from a quick dopamine hit level of content that is under a minute long and you're repeatedly consuming that, your transmitters get rewired into a level where you are now an addict. And guess what that means? When you're doing regular things like looking at a sunset, it's not going to hit you as hard. When you're looking at a flower, breathing, and I know because that happened to me. I didn't appreciate. Then I said, wait a minute, I gotta stop sleeping with the phone in the bedroom. I gotta start making sure the first couple hours I'm up, I'm not on my phone. The last hour or so before I go to sleep, I'm not on my phone. And then my brain started to rewire, and it took months to do this. So people are walking around. If you're smoking crack, you have to go put a hit of crack and do it. If you're smoking cigarettes, you have to go and put a cigarette in your mouth. We are literally taking drugs and not knowing what's happening. And this is a new phenomenon. Yes, Instagram was around 10 plus years, but this frequent hit of short form content is been regular in our psyches for a very short time, and we are not realizing how we're being mutated. But I will tell you this, those analog experiences do not have as much flavor and sauce because they will not get you high anymore, because your brain is going to get rewired and says, I need the quick hit. And this is why even when people are playing music or doing anything, their instinct is to shove a fucking phone in their face. And it's not real if you didn't record it. It's not real in there. So if you are going to use it, use long form content, use the technology, use the AI to create short form content from long form. But be engaged in being a creator. Stop resharing this shit, y'all. The resharing this stuff, and people think, oh, I'm sharing valuable information. I'm sharing the grants, and I was there too. You are still not passing the dopamine bad dope thing until you literally go. And when I started using the Facebook Suite app only a few days ago, my hands, when I was opening my phone, were automatically going to open Instagram, even though I didn't need it. So you want to see if you're a dope addict? You know, if you shut this fucking app off and you open it in less than 5 minutes, you're addicted. You are wired through addiction. And especially people who are non-substance users. I come from substance use, and I come from addiction and family of addiction. So I was blessed to be able to identify it, right? And then the thing we do is addiction transfer, which is we change things to behavioral addiction. Meaning someone could quit doing heroin, but they're going to have to go to church 5 days a week. They did not cure themselves of addiction. They did not heal. They transferred that addiction to a seemingly positive habit. And that's what's sold to people by capitalism and the matrix. That, oh, you now do this. I work out every day. No. You are still an addict. You are using... The reason that someone is an addict, I want to thank Gabor Mate. I read his book, In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts, several times, and The Myth of Normal. Check it out. You don't got to believe me. Do the whole neuroscience. Do the whole research on it. Addiction is not determined by the frequency you do something. It is determined by the energetic reason that you do something. So when you are trying to escape a particular feeling or thought that is making its way to its surface, and you do not like that feeling, addiction kicks in and says, I don't want to feel this. Get me away from this pain. Get me away from this pain. I got to start doing 50 push-ups. And I've done that too. Now, what's going to happen is you're doing that from an energetic vibration of fear and scarcity. So then you are amplifying fear within yourself. And people who are doing this, they miss it. Because I was like, oh, I had quit doing all drugs, drinking, and all of that for more than a year. And I was still a full-fledged addict. What did I do? I was addicted to doing this. I couldn't eat this. I couldn't eat that. I just transferred my addiction to seemingly positive habits. But the vibration that was still in my being was still one that was negative. So that is how you can tell if you're addicted. Because you're not feeling the positive results. You're not getting the energetic transfer into a vibrational state that has a positive impact on your thoughts, on your emotional state, and on your physical body. So that is how you can tell. And once again, don't take my word for it. Watch those long videos of Dr. Gabor Mate. Go look at my stories, y'all. I put it in there. I tagged both of them. Look up Dr. Andrew Huberman's stuff on neurotransmitter connection to dopamine and the difference between good dope and bad dope. And then go look up Dr. Gabor Mate. And none of these guys are substance abusers. They're not substance users. and they will tell you how they fully face addiction. So I pray that, and the number, when I tried to work on social media rehab, it wasn't even social media that was a problem. It was particularly Instagram. It was Instagram that people are on it. People are not spazzing like this on Twitter. The Snapchat became a niche thing for certain people. The old heads are on Facebook. You know what I mean? They're writing long paragraph conversations on Facebook. That's not doing, it's the consuming of short form content at a rapid rate that rewires your brain into a level of your neurotransmitters now getting a hit of dopamine that breaks down your ability to get dopamine from looking at the sun and natural things. And until you rewire that, you'll not get that.
I also want to mention, right, is not just the short form content, it's the type of short form content that lasts specifically on Instagram that they don't necessarily do it on other platforms. So when you're scrolling, you will be hit with dopamine hits by watching entertaining videos, right? You'll see videos of dogs, you'll see people doing crazy shit in the street, right? But then right after that, you see some crazy shit about war. And then it's just like that fluctuation of emotions that you get from that. That's where the addiction starts formulating, because it's just like, it's just rise and fall so quick.
Yeah. Our minds are being manipulated, and the app doesn't tell you these devices were created to be addicting, and these apps are developed. That's what the algorithm does. It studies what you like, and it studies what you don't like, and then it gives you a prescription. So if
Mm-hmm.
it knows I'm going to watch videos on chord progressions, it's going to feed me them because it's going to know that's supposed to keep me there. If I know I have the plant-based cooking, that's also the big thing I want, that I've told myself. Please, y'all, it doesn't mean because what you're looking at is good and you can hit ignore. I was caught up on the booties and all that. I hit ignore. Don't show me content like this. It still fucked my mind up watching positive videos, memes of those kind of things. So don't think because you're not consuming negativity or you're not watching the war videos that's being pushed that you're still not getting the unhealthy neurological effects. So that's a big, big thing that I wanted to make sure I say, because trust, I was there too, and I had to take very specific steps in order to literally get the control of my brain back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, do you touch base on the trenches? Yeah, right. We have the newsletter. We have the Decipher group
We
chat.
got him, y'all.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, we got a couple people in here. Y'all got any questions? Throw them shits in the joint. You know what I mean? See what's up. Shout out to Paul Michael. Yo, I think Paul Michael is someone I don't know. I appreciate you, my guy. I appreciate you so much. We got the amazing Sharice from Southside Queens. Southside, we outside, even when we inside. You know what I mean? So, like, yo, please, y'all. That's the goal, man. To engage with strangers, man. Like, I tell y'all, if y'all can do the research, once again, go into these links that are in the link tree. Explore. We have tons of long form content, 1,000% free. Hit us up, right? DM Liz or I, Decipher, and we will add you to the chat. We got the newsletters. We got, oh yeah, neuroscience. Yeah, thank you, Sharice. Dr. Andrew Huberman, particularly, throw it on YouTube. Dopamine. His dopamine research in neuroscience is off the chain. Off the chain. He goes into it on a scientific level. Dr. Gabor Mate, Gabor Mate, with the little accent thingy. You've probably seen the memes, and trust, their books are incredible, but you can get a lot of the science from the free YouTube podcast. Both of them have plenty of content that you can do. So go into the long form. The book titles, I do not know Andrew Huberman's books, but Gabor Mate, the two books, In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts, great one on addiction. Once again, this man does not drink, he does not smoke, and he is fully said how his brain is wired for addiction. So trust me, most addictions go unnoticed to people, and they are praised by this capitalist place. Workaholics, addiction, you still suffer, and that's why he speaks on Buddhism, the realm of the hungry ghost, in the Wheel of Mara. So check out the Tao Te Ching, and his newer book is called The Myth of Normal. You know, being conditioned, these things are normalized in an unhealthy society. So this level of addiction and these levels of problems, because they're very common and everybody has them, they are going unnoticed. So he breaks it so, and he talked about how he neglected his son. He talked about how he was addicted to buying classical music CDs and all types of stuff. And people laugh. He tried to go and figure it, and it was only until he wrote several books and he went to do some work in Peru, he realized that he was still in full-fledged addict mode, even though he was financially successful. He neglected his family. He went through all of those things. So I love when people share their stories, and it's what's inspiring me to share. You know, like I am someone who had to go and do this myself. So yeah, we appreciate y'all. Yeah, Dr. Gabor Mate and Andrew Huberman, plethora of free information, and you'll get what you need. They have those nice animated marker videos too, if you're a visual learner. So you know, it's very, very beautiful. But Liz, I think we accomplished the mission. You know, like I feel like we got it. Everybody's here. Yo, have a conversation with somebody on some real shit. Cook a meal with each other. Encourage each other to go outside and hold each other accountable for not touching your phone. You know, when you get up or something, not on your phone, but you know, maybe somewhere, like set an alarm clock or a timer, and just see if you can stay away from your phone for the first hour that you get up and the last hour before you go to bed. And if you can do that, you know, it'll get easier and easier, because then you're setting the tone before you wake up when you're in alpha state, and then you were setting the tone before you go to bed, which also regulates the quality of your sleep. So, you know, we have these phones right next to us. We use them for alarms. We do this and that. Like that's why get a watch. Do what you can. Like there's ways, y'all. But we're accountable for this. We have to be accountable as a species, because all of these things are free. Awareness is free. The same internet that is used to doom scroll could be the same thing where you watch the 2-hour video on neuroscience and change your habits. The same pen and paper that you can pick up and trust, stare out the window, watch the sunrise, watch the sunset. And if you do that, it will change your life. You know, I set myself goals to be outside for several hours every day to get that level of vitamin D. And it's difficult, y'all. I don't want to act like this is easy, but have accountability partners. Hold yourself to it and notice what happens. You are going to receive so much information to your being that's going to come from the quantum field, that's going to come from the higher dimensions, and you will feel source give you. If you can get the information from source, more importantly than watching the podcast or reading the books, you have access to this information within you. And when you start accessing that, you're going to need less and less externally, and you're going to access more and more internal. So please, y'all, please know that you got the answers. Anything we do, look at our newsletters, look at our group chat, look at what we're doing in the parks, steal it, take it, sample it, remix it, and build community, y'all. And first and foremost, build a deep relationship with yourself and a community with yourself. You know what I mean? We got 20 plus artivist talks. We got long form videos. We got so much shit, y'all. We have infinity, and there's gonna be more.
Yeah.
This is gonna be up too. So like, that's it. Put in the work. Opus Clip AI for cutting up clips.
Wanted to touch base on that Artivist talk, because we are working on season 2 and want to have people slated, because we got so many people asking about that. So if you are signed into our newsletter, from time to time we do share the information. I'm going to put it in the link tree as well for you to fill out the Google form, so then you can talk, or if you know somebody, send them that way to get into the Artivist talk for season 2 as well.
Yeah, I do want everyone to know the failures. I did a podcast a whole season. Nobody listened to that shit at all. I did it straight on Anchor. I uploaded it, little to no views. I started interviewing people, little to no views. I did a whole second season. I was consistent as fuck. I started doing posts on it, little to no views. I did Artivist Talks, and then I started doing them here on a platform I do not like, Instagram, and then sure enough, 20 got done in a short time. So we broke the record, y'all. And it's just about doing it. And then now, before we launch season 2, we got to cut up mini clips to make sure we are bringing attention to the amazing people like Sharice who are on season 1. So you got to do the work, y'all. You got to take what you already did. It's like taking grandma's recipe, abuela's recipe that was passed down, and you have to be able to like work on your stuff. People are like, why? I'm like, yo, I got hundreds of songs on the website. Nobody listened. 8 views, whatever. So what it makes sense? Make another joint? That's what capitalism does to you. It tells you to keep producing, keep making. No, take what you did and find creative ways to put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Interview the same person 5 times, whatever you got to do. Like, yo, it be the things that we don't expect, but it has to be something within what you already have, y'all. This is the Omni way. This is the way that is omnidimensional. I don't say the universe, I say the omniverse, because there's multiple dimensions of realities existing on the same plane at the same time. So on different planes at the same time. So if you can tap into another form of reality and bring your consciousness into that reality, that form of reality by energetic law will appear in your reality. And you'll never get this information in school. Yes, there's YouTube videos and this, but you have to actually put it into practice with your people. Liz and I set goals. We're like, yo, how many views? Whatever it is. I don't like talking like that, but I'm willing to do that in order to prove that this is there. And I tell y'all, enjoy me while I'm here, because I ain't going to be here forever. You know what I mean? This stuff will live on beyond me, and this omni energy existed prior to me in this human form and will exist after. It's going to exist after, and it's omnipresent, meaning it can be tapped into at all moments, at all times, as long as you vibrate within your frequency of doing such. So please, y'all, know that anything that is truth will lead you to yourself. Work with what you're got. You're exactly where you're meant to be. And then take what you have and find a million different ways to do something with the one thing that you created, whether that's one poem, one piece, anything you do, and just get creative with it. And don't feel blinded by the matrix and the capitalist structures and these infrastructures that are based on a third dimensional reality that is literally taking orders from other higher vibrations and forms of reality. So get it in, get it popping, love yourself, vibrate at the highest possible rate, connect with people, eat with people, go in the park, stay out under the sun, exercise to the point of failure. Meaning that if all you got is 5 push-ups and that's where it wins you, then do those 5. And then it's going to lead to 10. And then the 10 is going to lead to 20. But you have to bring yourself to a point where you get past your comfort zone. So that's what we're being asked to do. And none of this requires money. None of the things we said requires money. And if your brain wants to make an excuse, then go to the library and get something over there and start reading books if you want to do. There's whatever you want to do is up to you. But the access to information is there. You can stare at a tree and you will get way more information that you can from any digital podcast or any information if you allow yourself to receive the information from what's always going on around you. Look at the sky, listen to the birds, observe this, talk to the water. You know what I mean? We out here.
Yes.
Let's drop this. We out here. Yo, hit us up. Slide up in the DMs, y'all. Look at what we got in the link tree. Make your own version of it. Take anything that resonates with your spirit. Disregard anything that doesn't. We love y'all. Peace, love. Omni Gang. Be out here.
Hi, everyone.
We out inside at the same time.